Ladies and gentlemen, life is a fleeting moment in the grand design of time. But within that moment, there lies an opportunity to leave an impression so deep that even the winds of time cannot erase it. You see, the measure of a life is not in the years you live, but in the moments you create, in the people you touch, in the legacy you leave behind. If you want to be remembered, if you want to leave a mark on this world, then hear me now. Do this and they will never forget you. Give more than you take. The world is filled with people who are always looking for what they can get: more money, more recognition, more power. But the ones who are truly unforgettable are those who give. They give their time, their wisdom, their kindness, and their love without expecting anything in return. They understand that real wealth is not measured by how much you accumulate, but by how much you contribute to the lives of others. When you walk into a room, ask yourself, what can I offer? Rather than what can I gain? Give a helping hand, a word of encouragement, a moment of patience when someone needs it most. Give your presence to those who feel invisible. Give your knowledge to those who seek guidance. Give your strength to those who are struggling to stand on their own. Because when you give freely, without keeping score, you leave a lasting imprint on the hearts of those you touch. People may forget what you had, but they will never forget what you gave. Listen with intent. Most people hear, but few truly listen. In a world where everyone is eager to speak, to be heard, to share their own thoughts, those who take the time to listen stand out. Listening with intent means giving someone your full attention, not just hearing their words, but understanding their emotions, their struggles, and their unspoken feelings. It means putting away distractions, looking them in the eye, and making them feel like, in that moment, they are the most important person in the world. It's about being present, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. When you listen deeply, you hear what's beneath the surface: the fear behind the frustration, the sadness behind the silence, the hope hidden within uncertainty. People remember those who make them feel heard, because feeling heard is feeling valued. If you want to be unforgettable, listen not to respond, but to understand. Listen with patience, with empathy, with an open heart, and you will leave an impact that lasts far beyond the conversation. Speak with purpose. Words are powerful. They can build people up or tear them down, inspire action or create doubt, heal wounds or deepen them. Every word you speak carries weight, and those who leave a lasting impact understand this. They do not speak just to fill the silence or to hear the sound of their own voice. They speak with intention, with meaning, with a desire to make a difference. When you speak, make sure your words serve a purpose. Let them encourage, educate, and empower. Speak with clarity, so your message is understood. Speak with conviction, so your truth is felt. Speak with kindness, so your words leave people better than you found them. The world does not remember those who talk the most, it remembers those whose words changed lives. Whether through a single sentence that gave someone hope or a conversation that shifted a person's perspective, your words have the power to shape the future. So before you speak, ask yourself, will these words add value? Will they uplift? Will they leave a mark? Because when you choose your words wisely, when you speak with purpose, people will not only remember what you said, they will remember how your words made them feel. Show up when it matters. It's easy to be present when times are good, when celebrations are happening, and when everything is going smoothly. But the moments that truly define you, the moments people will never forget, are the times when showing up is hard, inconvenient, or uncomfortable. It's when someone is struggling, when the world turns its back on them, when they feel lost or alone. That is when your presence means everything. Showing up is more than just being physically present. It's about being there emotionally, mentally, and wholeheartedly. It's about standing beside someone when they are at their lowest, offering support without expecting anything in return. It's about answering the late-night phone call, sitting in silence with someone who is grieving, or being the steady hand when life feels unsteady. It's about making time when you don't have time, putting aside your own comfort to be a source of strength for someone else. The truth is, people don't always remember what you say, and they may even forget what you do, but they will never forget how you made them feel in their darkest moments. Your willingness to show up, especially when no one else does, leaves a mark that time cannot erase. So be the person who stays when others leave, who listens when others turn away, and who stands firm when others waver. Because in the end, what truly matters is not how often you were there, but whether you were there when it counted the most. Keep your word. In a world where promises are often made and easily broken, being someone who stands by their word is rare and unforgettable. Your word is more than just a collection of sounds. It is a reflection of your character, your integrity, and your reliability. When you make a promise, whether big or small, you are making a commitment, not just to another person, but to yourself. And the moment you break that promise, trust begins to erode. Keeping your word means following through, even when it's difficult, inconvenient, or no longer benefits you. It means doing what you said you would do, whether or not anyone is watching. It means being dependable, so that when you speak, people believe you. When you consistently keep your word, you become someone others can count on. Someone whose handshake is as good as a contract, whose commitments are unwavering, and whose presence brings certainty in an uncertain world. But keeping your word isn't just about honoring promises to others, it's also about keeping the promises you make to yourself, the goals you set, the commitments you make to grow, the discipline you promise to uphold. All of these shape who you become. If you break your word to yourself, it becomes easier to break it to others. But if you stand by it, you build an unshakable foundation of self-respect, confidence, and trustworthiness. At the end of the day, people may forget what you said, but they will always remember whether or not you followed through. Be the person whose word carries weight, whose promises are kept, and whose integrity is unquestionable. Because in a world full of empty words, a person who keeps their word will never be forgotten. Master the power of silence. In a world filled with noise, constant chatter, endless opinions, and the rush to be heard, those who understand the weight of silence stand apart. Silence is not emptiness, it is presence. It is the space where truth reveals itself, where understanding deepens, and where the most powerful messages are often conveyed without a single word. Silence allows you to listen, to truly hear, beyond what is spoken. It gives you the patience to absorb, to process, and to respond with wisdom, rather than impulse. When you remain silent, you notice the things most people overlook: the hesitation in someone's voice, the sadness behind their smile, the fear in their eyes. You begin to understand that not every question needs an immediate answer, not every disagreement needs a rebuttal, and not every moment needs to be filled with words. Silence is also a tool of strength. The most powerful people do not waste words trying to prove themselves. They let their actions speak louder. They do not rush to defend every criticism or react to every challenge. Instead, they allow silence to work for them, to command attention, to create an air of mystery, and to shift the energy in a room without raising their voice. But silence is not just external, it is internal. Those who master silence know how to quiet their own minds, to step away from distractions, and to sit with their own thoughts. In silence, you discover clarity. You find answers that noise drowns out. You develop a presence that is both calming and powerful. If you want to be unforgettable, do not underestimate the power of saying nothing. Let your silence create space for deeper connections, for meaningful actions, and for wisdom that only those who listen beyond words will ever understand. The loudest voices fade over time, but the presence of someone who knows when to be silent, that is remembered forever. Be authentically you. In a world that constantly tries to mold you, shape you, and make you fit into a box, the most powerful thing you can do is stand firm in who you truly are. Too many people spend their lives trying to be what others expect, saying what they think people want to hear, and living in a way that feels safe rather than real. But those who are unforgettable, the ones who leave a lasting impact, are the ones who have the courage to be themselves, unapologetically. Being authentically you means embracing every part of yourself, the strengths, the flaws, the quirks, the imperfections. It means speaking your truth, even when it's unpopular, and standing by your values, even when it's difficult. It's about refusing to shrink yourself to make others comfortable, and never pretending to be someone you're not just to fit in. When you live authentically, you attract the right people, the ones who appreciate you for who you truly are, not for who you pretend to be. Authenticity is rare because it requires vulnerability. It means being honest about your struggles, admitting when you don't have all the answers, and showing up as your real self instead of a carefully crafted version designed to impress. But the moment you stop hiding, the moment you embrace yourself fully, you give others permission to do the same. You inspire people not by being perfect, but by being real. The truth is, people forget those who blend in, but they remember those who stand out, not because they are louder, flashier, or more successful, but because they are real. So embrace your journey, your voice, your individuality. Be fearlessly, unapologetically, authentically you, because the world doesn't need more copies, it needs originals, and the ones who dare to be themselves. They are never forgotten. Stand for something. In a world where opinions shift like the wind, and many choose the path of least resistance, those who take a stand for what they believe in are the ones who leave a lasting impact. To stand for something means to live by a code, a set of values, so deeply ingrained in who you are, that no amount of pressure, doubt, or adversity can shake them. It means refusing to compromise your principles for approval, convenience, or temporary gain. History does not remember the people who stayed silent in the face of injustice, who followed the crowd simply to avoid conflict, or who stood on the sidelines when it mattered most. It remembers the ones who had the courage to stand up, to speak out, and to fight for what was right, even when they stood alone. It remembers those who defended truth in a world of lies, who stood for kindness in times of cruelty, and who chose honor over personal gain. Standing for something does not mean forcing your beliefs on others, nor does it mean being stubborn for the sake of pride. It means knowing what you value and living in alignment with it every single day. It means being the same person in private as you are in public. It means having the strength to say no when everyone else says yes, the wisdom to walk away when something doesn't align with your principles, and the bravery to speak when silence would be easier. People may not always agree with you, and some may even resist or challenge you, but they will never forget you, because those who stand for something become unshakable forces in a world of uncertainty. They become leaders, role models, and legacies that endure long after they are gone. If you want to be remembered, don't just exist, stand for something. Let your life be a testament to what you believe in, and let your actions prove that your values are more than just words. Teach what you learn. Knowledge is one of the most valuable things you can acquire in life, but its true power is unlocked when you share it with others. Too often, people guard what they know, treating wisdom as something to be hoarded rather than passed on. But those who leave a lasting impact, those who are never forgotten, are the ones who take what they've learned and use it to uplift, educate, and empower others. Every lesson you've learned, every challenge you've overcome, every piece of wisdom you've gained through experience has the potential to change someone else's life. When you share your knowledge, you don't just help others grow. You create a ripple effect that extends far beyond what you can see. A single piece of advice, a story of perseverance, or a lesson from failure can inspire someone to push forward when they feel like giving up. What may seem like a small insight to you could be the breakthrough someone else desperately needs. Teaching what you learn isn't just about formal education, it's about being a mentor, a guide, a source of wisdom in everyday life. It's about taking the time to show someone the way, to offer encouragement, to pass down the knowledge that once helped you. It's about making sure that when you move forward, you don't do so alone, you bring others with you. But the beauty of teaching is that it also deepens your own understanding. When you explain something to someone else, you internalize it more fully. You grow stronger in your own wisdom, more confident in your own experiences, and more connected to those around you. At the end of your life, people won't remember how much you knew. They'll remember what you shared. They'll remember the way you helped them see things differently, the way you made complex things simple, the way you took the time to teach instead of just telling. If you want to leave a legacy, don't just learn. Teach, because knowledge that dies with you is wasted, but knowledge that you pass on lives forever. So now the choice is yours. You can move through life unnoticed, leaving nothing behind but empty days and forgotten words. Or you can live with purpose, with impact, with the kind of presence that lingers long after you're gone. Be the person who gives more than they take, who listens with intent, who speaks with meaning. Be the one who shows up when it matters, who stands for something, who lifts others up. Live in a way that when your name is spoken, it is spoken with admiration, with gratitude, with respect. Because at the end of it all, you won't be remembered for what you had. You'll be remembered for how you made people feel, for the lives you touched, for the legacy you built. So go out there, live boldly, love deeply, and make sure that when your story is told, it's one that can never be forgotten.